Okay, we're back from word from our sponsors, and this week was incredibly difficult. This past Sunday for the whole league as a whole to play, and as we all know, as everybody knows in the community, one of our more popular players in the league and most beloved players, Steve Corman, tragically lost his son last week in a accident at the beach, and I mean, we didn't play Friday, and it was just it was a lot of big question mark about yesterday's game, but um, you know. I guess we all know Sabon. You played with him last year with Steve, and I'm sure you know Ezra was there every single week, and it was just an amazing guy, and the kid was. I don't think anybody loved the league more than him. As far as fan goes, he wins Fan of the Year every year, and actually the award has been named after him. And so what are your thoughts on the?
Well, you know what? There's no words or thoughts that you could really have to express what this family must be going through. I mean, and it's not just a family. I think the whole community feels it, and I think. I saw you at the funeral, and I think just the outpouring of people speak for itself. The thousands of people that showed up to honor the kid, and I think it was the right thing to do. And you know what? Sometimes you just question so many things in life, and this one there's really no answer to, because I mean. Nobody should ever have to live through something like this, and this is really such a tragic event, and it's just hard for me to even express what I'm feeling, because it's a little kid that was about to be bar mitzvahed, I assume, very soon, and it's just a tough thing, and I really urge everyone out there. Even if you didn't know him, if you do know him, especially guys that know him from our league, they should definitely go visit him or call him or see him. This family wants to see people, and they need to see people, and Steve needs to see guys that he knows. And you know what? I want to say this because it's something that went through my mind just the last few days. I got to be honest, Bob. I was almost nervous to face him. I mean, I'm sure everybody out there who's going to see this probably felt that at one point or another, going to pay respects. But you know what? I don't think there's anything that needs to even be said.
Right.
You just go there and they understand.
You feel the pain.
You feel it, and you really do. I mean, I just came from the house, and just seeing him broke my heart. And you know what? He seemed like he had a little more upbeat spirit than most of the people in the house. That's just the type of good guy he is. I mean, of course it's gonna eat at him, but he obviously has a lot of faith in Hashem, and he knows that he's gonna have to get through this. And we really. I wish, and I'm sure Bobby and Norman and the rest of everyone out there wish Steve and his family nothing but the best and only good things. And I really hope that Steve could rebound from this next year and come back to the league. I hope this wouldn't be something that would make him just not ever want to do anything again. I know it would be very hard, but I just think that. He's such a great guy that he
positive,
will. Yeah, he's a positive guy.
Right?
I mean, there's certain people out there that would just crumble from this. You know what? I'm as strong as they come. God forbid. I don't know how you could live like this. But thank God he's a positive guy and he's strong like that. And hopefully he'll be back and we could all be with him.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's really nothing you could really say about something like this. Everyone's heart, pours out for him and his family. And obviously, Ezra was a staple at the league. Every person that ever played with him knows that, if someone hit a home run on Stevie Corman's team, he was the first one to slap him 5 and everything. And, it's just a terrible, terrible tragedy. And, Steve, we love you. And, what can you say? There's nothing you can really say.
I would like to say on behalf of the YMSL, the first thing Steve told me when I went there last week to visit him, he goes, I can't believe the outpour I got from the league. He goes, emails and texts, and the people that came to the funeral, the people that came to pray. He goes, the guys in the league are the nicest guys. He couldn't believe the outpour we got, and which is a tribute to everybody in the league. And it's just one thought that I always remember, and is not even during the games. It was after the games, and Steve would be 100 degrees, played 2 games catching. And we'd be cleaning up a half hour, 40 minutes later after the game, and he's playing with his son on the sidelines, pitching the ball to him. That's something I'll never ever forget. But so we wish, like Michael said, the family, God bless them with the strength and the power to go on. And so now we got the other series, which is minuscule compared to the subject, but the Marlins yesterday with Mabadev, and Game 2, really, I guess everybody was almost writing off Mabadev, not even to show up, But the good news is Eliezer finally learned the train schedule and took the F train to the city.
I never heard more about a guy getting to the game than this guy this season.
This is amazing. I mean, he has taken every form of transportation. He was actually trying to find if anybody was going to bounce for a chopper for him, but he took boats, he took Red, he took NJ Transit. So they finally got into the game, and I honestly thought the Marlins were going to run over them in Game 1, but the first game yesterday, a completely different story.
Right, of course, the Marlins won Game 1 last week. This Game 2 was as I was shocked to hear that Mabadev won the game. I was at the other field and getting updates. So they won that game, but then the Marlins quickly won Game 3, and all the scores were lopsided. This was not a good series for the ratings, to tell you the truth. And I don't know. I don't know if there could be a less exciting NLCS than that, with every game being decided by 7-8 runs. But I give credit to Mabadev. I think that they got as far as they should get. Mikey Shalom, I believe this is the furthest he's gone.
Yeah. So
congratulations to him. But I do think they got a lucky draw playing the unknowns in the first round, who are a team in complete disarray.
Yeah.
And the Marlins are a much better team than them. They're a much better roster, better, across the board. So no surprise.
I agree. I mean, like I said, you gotta have. Look, the best 2 teams made the World Series. Period. You know what? Moses pitched great for me. But it's him versus A.B. Saka. Mikey pitched great in this series. They lost 2-1, but it's Mikey versus Jeffrey Saka. That's what it comes down to. Mm-hmm. And the top 2 pitchers, both MVP candidates, are in the World Series. End of the story. So, you got a lopsided series, and, the Mabadev organization does have some big bats there, so they're bound to break open. And they're lucky they even got that in the second game, but, Game 3, Sack is probably going to shut them down.
Now, Mike, let me ask you something. The YMSL Board of Governors is going to meet later this week and discuss your future as a captain, but if they do bring you back, what are you going to do to make sure you get an elite pitcher?
Well, you know what? I mean, I wouldn't change any of my first 4 picks that I made this year. I just wouldn't. I mean,
that was Ali, Max.
Yeah.
Who's third?
Third was myself.
You, okay.
And fourth was maybe the top 3 picks. Anyway, but you know what? It just depends on who's there. And look, I mean, everybody killed me in the beginning of the season for not having a pitcher. I mean, I technically on paper I didn't, but Morabia happened to get us to an 11-5 record, and Moses got us very close to a World Series, giving up very few earned runs. I mean, we played very good D, and our bats were great all year. We just, like we discussed earlier, we just didn't have it in those 2 games. It's a short series. You can't score 10 runs every game.
All right. We got our first call coming in, as a matter of fact. Zachy from Midwood on the line.
Zachy from Midwood. I haven't been called Zachy in a while.
Oh, that's what it says on our screen.
How's it going?
How you doing?
Michon here.
How are you, Mr. Michon? How's everything? Are you signing up for 2013? Is that what it is, or?
I can't do it. So I'm going to leave it to the young ones.
I got you. What can we do for you, Zach? What's on your mind?
I wanted to call and say hello. I've been watching this thing for a couple of weeks now. I think you guys are doing a great job. And I just wanted to send out a shout out to all the young talent in the league. I can't believe I've been hanging out watching my son's team, the Marlins, play for the last 4 or 5 weeks. And I get to see all these new players and young players playing. And I think that the league is on the upswing. It looks great. The kids are doing great. And I just wanted to have like a shout out. I didn't see you didn't do anything on the rookies this year. Not that I'm trying to give anything to my son, but I think there's a lot of great young players. This guy, Victor Eskenazi, is just, Zach Eskenazi is just unbelievable. And there's a bunch of others, Corey Zolta and Charles Haddon. Just a lot of great young talent.
I saw you doing some warm-ups with your son before the game, where you were doing that Tommy Mansky warm-up where you toss the ball to him from a foot away and he hits it into the fence. Is that something that you do before every game, or is this just because the playoff atmosphere was in the air?
Actually, we play a little pepper. Every time he has an over, we play a little pepper. He wasn't doing so well the last couple of weeks, and we got him out of his slump. So we peppered before both games. He had a nice shot, hit a home run.
The monster home
And
run.
in the second game, he had a couple of hits as well. So just try to warm him up. I actually learned that from Red Nesser. I used to watch Red Nesser do that all the time.
Interesting.
Red Nesser still might do that, but unfortunately doesn't get any at-bats anymore. But I noticed you're on the Marlins payroll as a third base coach. How did that come about?
Well, we tried to, actually get a league authorized. The sanctions. I actually had to sit out one game. I don't know, maybe for one of my, previous years or something like that. Something I did in the past, but they asked me to not to coach one game. I said no problem. And then Sammy Powell has, I think he goes game by game and asks the opposing manager if I'm allowed to do that. But it's great. Love it. Love being on the field. Actually lost my voice yesterday. We scored a lot of runs. I was waving a lot of guys home. So it's great to be involved.
Sabon, maybe you could have used him as a third base coach.
I may be contacting you in the off season to, leave your son and maybe join the Sabon organization.
God knows you need that first and third position. So, Zachy, how do you see the upcoming World Series? Should be a classic matchup with 2 great pitchers.
I was mentioning to some of the guys yesterday that, in the old days, it's old timers, we always have to talk about the old days. But the league had a tremendous amount of very strong pitchers. It was really tough to go out there and hit. You had A.B. Cohen, you had Red Nesser, you had Ezra Eskenazi, you had Stevie Aza. I mean, whatever you guys, you really never were able to rest. And it seems like the pitching was a little bit off, like I said, there's a lot of great young talent, but it seems like nobody wants to pitch these days. But now you got the 2 best pitchers, which is supposed to be, and that's what baseball's all about. Of course, I lean towards the Marlins. I haven't seen the Utes play because it was early in the season that the Marlins played them, so I wasn't out in the, it was very cold in the beginning of the season. I didn't want to come out that early.
Okay.
So, but I'm going to go with the Marlins. I'm biased.
All right, listen, we wouldn't expect anything other than that.
Now, Bobby, maybe you could weigh in here. We're getting a ruling that about coaching third, that nobody that's not on the actual playing roster can coach third base during a game unless the other captain agrees. So now A.B. Saka actually has to approve him of coaching third base.
Yeah. Apparently, that's the YMSL ASA rule. So
it's rule number 39-2B.
Yeah, 2B, so.
Wait, but let me ask you something. On these fields, the third base, I mean, you're saying that he can't actually be on the field.
Right.
What if he's behind the fence screaming and...
He could do whatever he wants behind the fence.
Okay,
I mean,
so if they
security...
really want him as a coach, he's only 3 feet away from where he'd be standing.
Remember, there's beefed up security in the
Yeah.
World Series. The arena has a ton of extra personnel there. So
Yeah.
if he's going to be waving his arms from
that's
the
another
stands...
thing, by the way. Everybody must have their badge present at the media badges. So,
And we changed the traffic pattern. We spoke to...
my own grave, guys.
You might have. So now you're going to be hearing from the YMCL security department soon. So we'll have to address that issue.
It's best if you just turn yourself in. Don't...
So Zachy, thanks for calling in, and we look forward to seeing you on the field on Friday.
Okay, good luck. You guys are doing a great job. The league is tremendous.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, guys, and good luck.
All right, thank you. Zachy Michon, the proud father of Sam Michon, and a great player in his day also.
By the way, when you're ready to go, position by position, we're going to see a lot of the young talent on both these teams. Fountain of Youth's named so because so many young guys on the team.
A couple of things. So as we mentioned, the first game Friday afternoon at 4:45 at Fireman's West, and we're going to have a special pregame introductions at 4:30, and a special guest to do a national anthem and Hatikva.
Is that one of our league's own Abe Salem?
Well, actually, we're working on Abe Salem. His contract, we're talking with his agent. He's asking for a tremendous figure this year, so we might have to...
I heard Bruce Springsteen is a possibility. Bon Jovi was in negotiations.
Well, I mean, I don't know how he, Ali pulled it off, but I heard that Salem actually, did Ali's wedding in lieu of a few autographed softballs.
He was very, very good at Ali's wedding, by the way. So.
By the way, look out for the emails, but I heard that RBI, our main sponsor, may be selling Mazza at the game as well that day. So we're hearing it's true, but we're going to find out via email, I'm sure.
So Mazza on Friday afternoon, you heard it here.
Wow.
That's going to be a big hit at 4:30 Friday afternoon.
Edmund, the game starts at 7:30, not 4:30.
Wow. Late into the show for the first Edmund reference.
Thank God Moses got a break on that.
I gotta give Moses.
Moses pitched well.
He pitched okay.
By the way, I would like to add two things. Moses, I think, might have bought himself a job next year.
I definitely believe he did.
With this the last, even though it's been only 3 games.
And he should thank me for that.
Yeah. And I have to say, I got to really a shout out to Jack Boabe. I'll tell you, one of the classiest guys I've ever seen. Did not open his mouth when he got pulled. He cheered his team on, and he was. And I really think he's just once he gets his location down, he's got great stuff. All he needs is to get a little more control. He'll be a very good pitcher in the upcoming years. So hopefully he works on that in the off season. I'm sure he'll get another chance.
I think it's time to focus on the World Series now. But I agree. Jackie had a good year, and maybe with a different team without so many people screaming at him at all times. But the count goes 2-0. Not just Sabon, but Douglas and this one, and Harari. Everyone's screaming after every pitch.
Now, you know what? Let me take 2 seconds to just say to my team that, for what it's worth, I'm going to give you a live on-the-air apology. There were certain times during the year that I went nuts. I mean, I didn't go as nuts as I usually have in the past.
I thought you were tame this year.
I was, but there's it's really all about my competitiveness. Always looked at every sport as it's only fun when you're winning. If you lose, I think everybody knows that the rest of the week sucks until you get to Sunday. And, you know, some guys just vocalize it more than others. So bottom line is, please nobody take offense to my screaming or kills, but you all screamed and everyone went nuts. And everybody's competitive and, you know,
so all those guys that told me they never want to play for Sabon again, please give them one more chance. It's, don't take it personally. Now to the segment we've all been waiting for, position by position matchups for the World Series. And this is really going to be interesting. I'm going to make our expert predictions. We're going to start off at catcher. And for the Marlins, veteran Michael Fallis, who's had an outstanding year behind the plate, and you know, after many years at third base, and Jemal, the leading RBI man in the postseason.
Is that still true right now? Wow.
Well, we know it's not Allie, but you know.
Let me start there since Norman's going to be biased on this one. I gotta say, you know, Jigga had a very strong series versus us. He catches a good game. He takes the position very serious, and he has youth on his side. And it's going to be hot, and everyone's going to be competitive. And on the other hand, you have Michael Fallis, who's a longtime veteran of the league. And I'm going to actually give the edge here in fielding and keeping his pitcher in the game to Jemal.
Wow.
But I'm going to give the hitting edge to Michael Fallis.
Okay.
So I'm 50-50 there, actually.
Fair enough. I'm going with Jigga. No surprise over there. I love the wingman, and he's a very, very good you know, catcher, fielding, and everything. And he's very good at getting the ball back quickly to Jeffrey, so Jeffrey can do his quick pitching that he's famous for. And I'm sure we'll see a lot of that against the young lineup. But gotta go with Jigga.
I would tell you this, Michael Fallis, veteran, keeps Jeffrey in line, very good defense. The only problem I have with Jigga is that Amy Sackett covers most of the plays at the plate, so, you know, I don't know if we're going to count him as a
You know what,
kid. I don't know if he has confidence in him.
No, I don't think it's about confidence. I think it's about the premier pitcher in the league and the captain of the team wanting to be as close to 100% sure that the play is made as possible. Not that Jigga can't make those plays, but AB in his own mind thinks that he's going to make the play every time. So it's just, you know.
I'm going to give the edge to slight edge to Michael Fallis, mainly because of the brother-in-law situation, but but very close. Like you're dealing with youth and veteran, it's a very close call. The next position is very, very interesting. 25-time Hall of Famer, first ballot, the 25-time All-Star, first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best left-handed.
By the way, Lee Zaccaria surprised that Sammy Towell was an All-Star this year. You batted. Lee told me, please don't mention it.
Yeah.
He batted like 300 in the regular season. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on the exact number, but he didn't have a great year this year.
Calls on your phone right now.
And we had 4 first basemen on the team. Yeah. And so some were surprised that he was an All-Star.
But we should mention nursing a hamstring injury that he suffered in yesterday's Game 3. So Sammy Towell, listed as doubtful for Game 1, is actually in rehab this whole week. So Sammy Towell and Robert Braha for the Fountain of Youths, and one of the definitely intriguing characters of the league. And what would you have to say right off the bat? It'd be a no-brainer. But we don't know the health of Sammy Towell right now.
Well, I mean, being a first baseman myself, I'll comment on this. Nothing against Robert Braha. The guy actually had a very strong series against us too. But I would rather have Sammy Towell with his leg cut off by a chainsaw. Forget a hamstring injury. I'll take him literally if a shark bit the entire leg off at first base with a stump. over the other guy. So
I agree.
Hitting and fielding.
I agree. Robert had a good series, having a good year, and he's playing good, especially for where he was drafted and everything. But Sammy's a top player. We all know that.
Yeah.
Probably the best first baseman in the league on both sides of the ball that we've ever had, and I think we all agree with that. So let's just go to second base.
As long as you can admit the other two Jamals are far away better than you, and especially at catching.
So, yeah, you have to obviously Sammy Towell in that situation. And
would you say Sammy's the best first baseman in the league this year, or?
well, I wouldn't say that, but he would say that. But,
well, let's just
No, the truth-
no. Let's just talk about that for a second.
Okay. Michael Sabon Salomon.
Let's just reiterate some of these numbers here.
Do you want to read them?
No, you can.
Michael Sabon batted .563. He had 2 homers and 31 RBIs.
I think we should just stop right there.
Okay.
What do you think?
What
And
does
his
it say at the
slugging
bottom?
percentage
What
of
is that?
.854.
What was it say there? Popped up with the bases loaded in the playoffs in a key situation.
And was also 5 for 6 for the rest of the series.
First pitch.
So .563, 2 homers, 31 ribbies for Sabon.
Why don't we go to rookie sensation Mark Richter while we're at it?
Okay.
Why don't we?
Let's go to Sammy here. This is regular season only,
Yeah.
right? These stats: 368, no homers, and 4 RBIs. Is that right?
That's right.
That can't be right.
You
Yeah.
see your
Are you
now.
serious? 4 RBIs
Your
the whole
lip
year?
just fell down and said, "Wow, how could Sabon have 8 times the amount of ribbies than the best first baseman in the league? 8 times.
Wow.
4 RBIs. I know they didn't score a
I
lot.
don't think he
but
had anybody like Allie on base 80% of
What's
the
the
time.
difference?
4 RBIs. Come on.
I know, but you know.
Sammy's top person. Is that? And now we want to look up Richter also. If we could, if our crew here could give us the equipment that we need, please. Okay, Richter. 468, 1 homer, 18 ribbies.
Okay, I'm
No,
double.
I'm talking about defense, and he was just an incredible defensive first baseman.
Okay.
Norman, I think
But
you
Sabon
saw
blew these guys out of the
Yeah,
water.
and offensive
Yeah.
numbers for sure, but that's,
Oh, wait a minute. If anybody witnessed the throws that I was subject to this year from everybody on my team,
By the way, Elliot Batesh, we can't talk about first baseman without him. 596 batting
okay, so a
average.
couple points higher.
1 double, no triples, no homers. Only 1 extra base
And
hit
how
the
many
whole
ribbies?
year. And let's see, 4 ribbies.
He's a
So
leadoff
I think
guy.
I have more than
Yeah,
every
but he's a
other guy
leadoff guy.
combined. How's that?
I think Jig is better than all these guys. Man. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I gotta say, Sabon, to your credit, he made a brilliant play yesterday, and a hard grounder to your right, to your
To my left.
left. And
Down the
your
line.
first baseman wasn't, your pitcher wasn't covering. What happened?
Moses, he couldn't get the kid out of his teeth, and he stumbled over the loose mound over there.
Our producers are saying we need to move on. Let's go.
All right, second base. You talk about a veteran and rookie Richie Braha for the Marlins, and a great defensive second baseman Zach Goldberg.
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt, but the second base job was taken away from Richie and given to Charles Saka, according to sources.
I don't know where you saw that. What source you talking
I
about?
saw that according
I
to
believe
sources.
Jigga Jemal is feeding him false information.
No, I saw Richie Braha at second base yesterday, unless that was.
I saw Saka at
Yeah,
second
he was
base.
short-centered. Short-centered. So anyway, Richie Braha at second base and Zach Goldberg. Listen, this is playoff time. A veteran guy, got to go with Richie Braha. Although Zach Goldberg is very smooth at second base. Not much in the offensive numbers, but I definitely go with Richie Braha in this situation.
You gotta go with the experience here and the mentality of Richie Braha, and now him in the World Series. I could expect him to be going nuts on almost every single play. But I don't think that's going to be a distraction, because Jeffrey Sack is going to know how to keep this team in check, even if it's a crazy type of game. I'm going to give the full advantage to Richie Braha.
I gotta go with Richie here as well, based on what I've seen from Richie in previous postseasons. However, Zach had a good series against you guys, had a good year, batted .400 in limited at-bats this year, and very, very good defensively,
Very excellent.
and covering second on close plays. Very good. So, but I gotta go with Richie based on many decades of postseason play and coming up clutch.
certainly a very bright future for Zach Goldberg in the league. Next position, shortstop, and as Zachy Michon mentioned, these two of the young bright stars in the league, Sam Michon for the Marlins and Joe Eshko for the Fountain of Youths. And Eshko's been coming along offensively, and a great arm he has. Sam Michon also has been playing, but a rookie. I'm going to give the edge to Eshko, but a very slight edge.
This one is very tough. These two guys are both very good young stars. I saw very nice defense and offense from both of them. I would really say these two guys are interchangeable on either team. I think. What do you think? I don't know.
You know what? I think it's a toss-up here. I like Eshko. He has a baseball mentality. Absolute baseball mentality. He knows how to hit when you need him to. He's not going to look to hit a homer. He's going to look to get on base and get doubles. He's very quick. He's going to make the plays. The other kid has a lot of power. He hit a couple big homers this season. He seems to be a fine shortstop too. But I'm going to give Eshko a slight advantage, but it's like 51-49.
Yeah. The other thing I would say about Eshko, he's a tremendously big dead pull hitter, which once he learns to hit the other way, he'll be a much better player.
I'll go with Michon at the same thing, 51-49%. But I really think this is the closest one.
It's very close. And two great players, big futures for both of them. Short center, we have the Marlins have a combination, Charles Saka and David Simon, and the Fountain of Youths have Jody LeBeaus. I would, from what I've seen so far, from defensively, definitely I'd give the edge to the Marlins and Charles Saka, and Jody LeBeaus definitely on the offensive end, and so we'll see Charles Saka. I give the edge to the Marlins on this one.
I'm going to go with what you said. I'm going to probably give the advantage fielding-wise to the Marlins, but Jody's an absolutely great hitter.
Yeah.
So you know what? It's a 50-50. It's a definite draw. But
give and take.
You know what? This could be a big advantage to the Marlins because I don't see a lot of offense coming in this World Series. I see a few low-scoring games because they got great pitching and great D all around. So hard hit balls up the middle, these guys are going to have to make plays on.
Right.
So we'll see.
I'm going to give the edge to Fountain of Youths here with LeBeaus. Professional hitter, clutch hitter, also line drives all day long. And I think he could give Jeffrey Saka a very tough time in this series, perhaps.
No, what about on the defensive end?
Defensive end, he's been a catcher forever. Then he played right field 1 year. He's not really a short center, so the other side has to get the edge. But I saw D. Simon make diving catches on routine fly balls against my team this year.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
but is that going to happen in the World Series? That's a big difference between the regular season games and the pressure.
If someone's telling you only have one position left, short center, you could take Simon, you could take Saka, or you could take Jody LeBeaus. Me too.
Oh, okay. All right. So I guess it depends what you're looking for. But LeBeaus is a great hitter, as we mentioned. Charles playing great defense. So definitely each presents their own thing. We have a call coming in. Sammy from Woodbridge.
From Miami, of the Marlins, I believe.
Sammy, you're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, Bobby?
Hi, this must be Sammy Tal, perennial All-Star.
Well, I don't know about perennial All-Star, but I'll just say the captain of the World Series Marlins.
Director of player personnel also.
Yes, and RJ, how are you? And Sabon, my fellow first baseman.
How are you?
Doing well.
I'm good. Let's just for the record here, so I don't know what you're hearing, and about the whole All-Star. From day one, I admitted I didn't think I'm going to make the All-Star team. I didn't think I deserved to make the All-Star team. I didn't have the kind of gear that I normally have. Defensively, I think I am as good, if not better than anybody. I think I had a great defensive year. But unfortunately, that doesn't show up in the stats. But offensively, Salomon had a tremendous year. He deserves it. Elliot Petch had a very eventually at first base when we all retire. But I didn't think, but when I got the call, I said, you know what? I take it as a maybe respect, and I showed up. I did my job, and but I never lobbied for it to, to be on the team. I didn't complain. So let's just, get that record straight. And Lee might have his issues. I don't know what his deal is, but last thing I checked, I'm in the World Series. And last I checked, I have 22 gold gloves, and Lee has 3. So let's just leave it at that. All right?
Very well said. Okay, so you didn't lobby for the job. Of course, you got the call, and who's going to turn away the call?
There'll be one person that tells me, Sandy was complaining. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I deserved to make it. There were 3 really good first basemen this year that did deserve it. Starting with Sabon, and then obviously Rick had a tremendous year. I'm happy for him. And my friend Elliot Patesh, had a great year, hitting those singles, but that is 560, that is 580.
Standing 3 feet in front of the batter's box, I might add.
Yeah, so, but defensively, I don't think Elliot was picked for his glove. So, but that's it, but they really all had 3 good years. And I told Sabon, I'd love to see him get the gold glove this year. I'd love to, he deserves it. And I voted for him. And you know what? If it goes to Richter or Sabon or Elliot, I'll be the first guy to stand up and clap and actually give him the award.
Sammy, more importantly, let's get down to the World Series. What is your status? Now, I understand you had your first treatment for the hamstring tonight.
Yeah, I had an hour treatment tonight. I'm going back tomorrow, and I'm going back Wednesday and Thursday and Friday.
Wow.
I'm going to have a 5-day treatment. It's supposedly a grade 1 out of 3. I can walk, no problem. I can't run right now at any full speed.
But you couldn't do that before the injury either.
I'm sorry?
You couldn't do that before the injury either.
Right, but I can't. I really have a little mobility right now, and I don't want to hurt the team. And I don't want to hurt myself. And, right now it's a game time decision if I'm going to be playing game 1. See how my body reacts to all the treatment. If I can go, I'll be there. If I can't go, I might sit out game 1.
What?
And then come back to game 2.
Sammy, I don't know if you were listening previous to your call, but when we were doing the first baseman comparisons, I said I would take you if Jason Voorhees chopped your leg off with a chainsaw.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear the predictions yet. I'll try to, I missed that part, but thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
It's not even that.
I know Jeffrey's been, I asked Jeffrey yesterday, I really can't move. He goes, you got to duke it out to get to first base. I want you at first base. So I was sitting at first base, but I'm going to give it a go. Hopefully, if my body lets me go, I'll be there, and I know it'll make our team that much better. But if I can't, I don't want to hurt the team. We'll have to plug somebody in. Somebody's going to have to step up. And again, it's a game time decision. I'll see how my body reacts to all the treatment I'm getting.
Sounds like you've been upgraded from doubtful to day to day. So
yeah, day to day is what it is. I think it's going to be a great series. I hope it's a great series. One thing I think we have that nobody rarely talks about is our outfield is spectacular. We have 3 center fielders, in my opinion, and I think that's been, besides Jeffrey's fact of being all world, I think the 3 outfielders are really special, and I told Jeffrey to enjoy it this year because I don't know when you're going to ever get 3 outfielders like this.
well, we didn't get to the outfield comparisons yet. We're going to do that shortly. But Sammy, good luck the rest of the way with your treatments, and hopefully we will see you Friday on the field.
Yep, thank you, buddy. I'll see you Friday.
Okay, thank you very much. And Sammy Towle having some issues with Norman and Lee Zaccaria.
Well, I think he should call one of the guys, Albert or Ricky, every night after the therapy, and they should put it on the site if he's going doubtful, probable, questionable, day to day. Because that's a major part of the series. We need to know.
If I was a betting man,
if he's not playing in the series,
he'll be batting 4th and playing first base in game 1.
But seriously,
somehow I see a Kirk Gibson type moment happening here. There is absolutely no way this guy is missing a World Series. I think this is a great call, and getting the viewers hyped up about him potentially not being there, but I think this is just adding drama.
I think it's more for the Fountain of Youths to
get all worked up,
exactly.
saying, "Wow, their best player might not be there,"
Exactly.
but I don't see that happening.
So I think he's blowing smoke myself.
And perhaps the network can go to a therapy session with him to see, how the workout is going.
You might have to go to 2-a-day therapy sessions.
Hey.
It's whatever it takes. The next position I think is another great matchup. That's Solly and Towel, and who's really proved himself to be one of the top fielding third basemen. Added offensive game also. And Nathan Batesh, who was drafted in the very late round and has emerged as a great third baseman. I would have to give right now, just the way Solly N has been a veteran third baseman, and now hitting around 400 this year, a very slight edge over Nathan Batesh, who still's got to work on his offensive game a little bit, but Solly N I would give it an edge to right now.
Well, we may get a call from Lewis now because he said Nathan's going to be the future MVP of this league.
Well, that's Steven. That's Steven. What do you mean?
Yeah, but Lewis called in last year. You don't remember?
Yeah, he did.
And he said Nathan's coming next year. My nephew.
Talking about his nephew.
He was talking about his nephew.
Really?
Future MVP, Rookie of the Year, the whole deal.
I didn't know.
I'm giving the edge also to Solly Towel. I think he really improved this year defensively, and I think he's a better overall player.
I'm also giving the edge to Solly. Although this kid Batesh was very high on my radar, I was hoping to steal him this year late. Unfortunately, I didn't get him. I actually almost had a deal with A.B. Saka to trade for him. I thought I was going to con A.B. out of this guy. Did not work. He is going to be better every year. Good leadoff hitter, hard to pitch to. I think he had a couple walks yesterday. And he's low to the ground, so he's going to make those plays. I think you plug this guy in at almost any infield position, and he could probably play it.
Yeah.
So I do give the edge to Towel, but this guy is, right there.
Right there. The next is left field, and this is an unbelievable matchup as well. Second year, Zach Ashkenazi emerging as a superstar in the league, an unbelievable defensive play, maybe the best arm in the league, and another emerging superstar, Erwin Cohen, for the Fountain of Youths. And I'll tell you, defensively, both I'm going to give the edge a little to Zach with the strength of his arm, even though Erwin has a great arm. And but offensively, I think Erwin might be a little better right now, even though Zach's coming along. I'm going to give a very slight edge to Erwin Cohen on this, very, very, very slight edge on this one.
I'm also leaning towards Erwin Cohen. I think he's a center fielder on most teams, possibly even on his own team. He probably should be the center fielder, but I can't say that anymore because Eli's been great. But Zach was a huge part of that team last year, the Grip It and Rip It team. He's a clutch player. He hit a long home run yesterday in the playoffs. But still, I think Erwin Cohen has a slight edge over him.
I'm going to go actually 50-50 on this one. I mean, both players are future stars. Erwin was on my team last year, was great, only got better this year. Fielding-wise, I think they're probably right about the same.
Yeah.
I may give a slight edge hitting to Ashkenazi, believe it or not. Although Erwin probably had a little better numbers, he's very dead pull. And if you play him the right way, you could make plays. He's very fast. So,
well, Erwin was 482, no homers, 9 ribbies, and Zach, their numbers are very similar. Zach was 409, 1 homer, 10 ribbies.
But he came along strong in the second half of the year. Zach started off slow.
Yeah.
The truth is, it's so close. It doesn't.
That's why I said 50-50 there.
But as we mentioned, two emerging stars. Actually, his natural position, Zach, is shortstop, and I'm sure we'll probably see him there before his career is over. Next position is the center field. The Marlins with A.B. Cohen and Eli Harari for the Fountain of Youths. A.B. Cohen, to me, is a bona fide superstar, maybe the best all-around he could be the best all-around center fielder in the league right now.
Probably just a drop better than Alley.
Well, I don't know. He's in the finals. That's all I know. So I'm going to give a slight edge, not a slight edge, actually, a major edge to A.B. Cohen. Come offensively, that was always his knock on him, was his offensive game, but he's really put it all together this year. Great arm, great, he covers the field incredibly. So I'm going to give the obvious edge to A.B. Cohen on this one.
I'm also going with A.B. Cohen here. I think he's better defensively, and Eli's got more power, and Eli proved everyone wrong that killed A.B. Saka for picking him that early, because he really had a great year.
He did. What did he end up? He must have, the second half, he must have been hot because he started like 1 for 18.
No. He whoops, that's Eli had it. He ended up rebounding nicely towards the end of the year. He batted .362, 2 homers, 11 RBIs, but
let's see, he must say like 500 the last 6 weeks of the year.
yeah, he had a monster game against my team. The what we call them, not Maurice's Pieces, the Project X, right? And after that, he just exploded, and that's when the team came together and stopped losing games altogether. Right. So Eli had a very strong second half, good series against Sabon, but
very powerful.
Got to go with A.B.J. Cohen here.
I'm going with A.B. Cohen. Eli's very good, but I think A.B. brings a little more experience now to the league and to his team. He's a star center fielder and a very solid hitter, and he could definitely go all fields hitting. And I think Eli's a little too much homer happy. He just swings for the fences. If he hits a solid shot, he's very quick. He's going to turn what should be a single into a double, but it's not going to be that easy getting those type of hits off Jeffrey Saka. I'm giving the edge to A.B. Cohen.
Okay, now right field, we have emerging star Solly S. Towel, who's really coming to his own this year. After a year with the Tel Aviv Tallets last year, and Ezra Tabelli, who really came along, was almost like a 12th round pick. It was one of the famous members of the incredible Cheesehead franchise.
Oh, was it? Yes, I remember.
Mitesh,
yeah, that didn't get to play. Yeah,
that those genius captains thought they knew what they were doing. But I'm going to give the edge here to Solly S. Towel. Ironically, Solly S. was a teammate of yours on the Maurice's Pieces a couple of years ago, and was in the doghouse or just not getting any playing time, which Sammy Towel will tell you about. He hasn't talked to Maurice Haber since.
Yes.
So, but I'm going to give the edge offensively and defensively to Solly S. But Ezra Tabelli had a fine year. But I think Solly S. What did he end up this year at?
340.
340. But very quick hitter and a quick bat. It's a good, very good, solid pick. I think.
I'm gonna give the slight edge to Solly Towel. It could be a toss-up, but I think Towel probably just has a little more power to his body just at this time. So he may get around and, get a little bit of an edge there. But I got to tell you something. Tabelli is a very solid fielder. He has the fundamentals out there, as he showed against our team, to, like you said, not try to make a crazy play from right to home thinking he's going to get someone. He got it in fast, made the play on a pickup, and they relayed the ball home. And that's what you got to teach in this league. And he seems to have that, so you know what? I'm gonna say it's a toss-up, 50-50.
I think it's a toss-up also, but I saw a lot more of Tabelli this year. I didn't see the Marlins. I wasn't. I only saw them, play 2 games against my team, and he wasn't such a big factor. Tabelli, I watched a lot in the playoffs, and I like what I see so far. Very, very smart in the outfield. And just for the familiarity aspect that I know him a little better and I've seen him play much more, I'm going with Tabelli in this one.
Wow, interesting. But all right, so the next position before we get to the pitcher is DH, and we have the Marlins have Ray Day, who came out of retirement from 2006, and the Fountain of Youths have Sabon's good buddy David Harari.
By the way, in a 2-1 game, David Harari came up and ripped a single down the first base line past a diving Sabon to make the score 3-1. A huge, huge RBI in that game.
I'm going to give love Ray Day, but, you know, with being out of action for 6 years, you got to go David Harari, an RBI machine, and he's just a pure hitter, so I think...
I got to disagree with you there. Got to go with Ray Day, league legend. I'll take Ray Day in a big spot any day of the week as he lumbers down to first base on a 900-foot shot. I'm going with Ray Day because there is something to what Sabon said. Harari got a big shot, but he's not the most clutch player in the world. I'll take Ray Day.
I'm going to actually retract what I said about Harari. Even though he did not have a great NLCS, like Bobby said, bottom line is he got to the World Series. There's something that's probably going on in this guy's head saying that it was meant to be, that he got traded off one of the worst teams and now ended up on possibly the best team, and he's the number 4 hitter. I'm going with Harari all the way on this one. And I'm actually calling for him to have actually a very good series.
No respect for Ray Day on this panel. I can't believe it.
This was 1998, different story. Now the last one is the big matchup. That's Jeffrey Saka for the Marlins and A.B. Saka for the Fountain of Youths. And listen, we talk about great pitchers and we talk about winning. And right now, A.B. Saka to me is the most dominating player in the league. If he wins this year, it's going to be 3 out of 4 championships.
That's what Jack Jemal would call a dynasty.
Yeah, Jack Jemal gets to the playoffs, he calls it a dynasty. And it's no secret Jeffrey Saka has not won, as Max Sutton likes to point out, since 1999. So he hasn't won in the 21st century.
Back in the Ray Day era.
Yeah, exactly.
Ray Day was back.
Ray Day led the league in stolen bases that year. So. But,
by the way, Jeffrey Saka in the preseason this year predicted he's going to win the championship. And one other person on this panel predicted the Marlins early on to go all the way.
Was that?
That was NRJ right over here.
This also said that the Fountain of Youths is one of the worst teams he's ever seen. So
I said that.
Yeah.
Show me the videotape.
I believe
we're like
Who picked the Fountain of Youths when they were 2-6 against the 8-0 unknowns? Get that videotape up. I said Fountain of Youths sweep the 8-0 unknowns.
Yes, you did. We do have that. I'm going to give the edge to A.B. Saka over here, and a slight edge, but I think offensively, obviously much better. And he's right now in the prime. He's just in the prime, and he's in his zone right now. I'm going to give the edge to A.B.
Both pitchers are clearly the 2 best pitchers in the league. Both of them played in the All-Star game, in fact. And but you got to go with A.B. Saka because A.B. brings a legitimate bat to the lineup as well. And A.B. plays every single year in the World Series his best softball. I'm going with A.B. Saka.
This is a tough one for me. I'm going to go 50-50 on the pitching. Now, I want to lead into something here.
Okay.
I'm going to go 50-50, dead even on the pitching. I'm also going to give a big advantage to the Marlins by position. I think every position we just went over, out of the 10 guys we named, I bet it was 7-3 in favor of the Marlins. But with all that being said, I am predicting the Fountain of Youths to take the championship in 4 games.
Ooh.
Strictly because I saw how solid they were against us, and they totally shut us down, and they shut one of the best, according to you, the second best center fielder in the league down. And, they're solid all around, and they gelled at the right time. And although Jeffrey had the best team in up until now, I think the Fountain of Youths are the best all-around team right now.
We'll go with your prediction for the.
Okay, I predicted in the beginning of the year that Jeffrey Saka, Sammy Towell, I love their draft, and I predicted them to win the World Series. However, watching how things unfolded, watching how their offense, even though they're better at position than the other team in every position, like you just said, watching their offense go to sleep for extended periods of time this season, I'm seeing this Fountain of Youth team. They're on a roll. They have A.B. Saka, who does nothing but win in this league. I'm switching my original prediction, and I'm going with the Fountain of Youths. And I wanted to also say 4 games. It's a little boring. I'm picking the same exact thing as Sabon. I'm going to go 5 games. I'll go with the Fountain of Youths in a 5-game series and a ratings bonanza in Game 5.
I first of all want to say this is going to be a great series. I mean, the way baseball should be played, low scoring, pitchers duel. We should see great defense. The Marlins have a little better offensive machines, but something about A.B. Saka, the way he buckles down and controls some of these big bats. I'm going to give the edge to, once again, to the Fountain of Youths.
Wow.
A.B. Saka is going to back-to-back championships.
I was coming here today in the YMSL helicopter, Chopper 2, and I said I'm going to be the only one that's going to pick the Fountain of Youth. I thought for sure you guys are going with the Marlins. I'm very surprised that all 3 of us.
No, I would say it's probably going to be a 5-game series, but I would say more or less like you guys. I would say 4. And listen, but I think it could be 1 run either way. It could be low-scoring games, 2-1, 3-1. So a hit here, great defensive play there. Could change the whole series.
Our website team is telling us, that the Sammy Towell update, which is a key factor in this, they will put it on the front page of the website every single day. They will give an update on his status under the box scores and all those things on the right side that get updated each day.
Yeah.
They're going to add a thing, Sammy Towell update, questionable, doubtful, probable, all that.
From what I understand, I was just hearing from our producers. Actually, we're going to have a live feed while he's getting his rehab over there, so we can see the progress.
I believe he's at the Joseph Sandusky massage parlor on Tinton Falls. If any of you men would like to show up and bring your children, please feel free. Boys only.
But all kidding aside, Sammy Towell, we hope he's going to be 100% by that. By the time the series comes around on Friday, and once again, Game 1, 4:45 Friday at Fireman's West. Mazza, music, dancing, everything you want is going to be
dancing. Wow!
And
don't forget about the 9 days, people. Let's all be safe.
Yes,
we may have to cut the music out of the thing.
It's true.
And please remove the razor blades from the sambucas.
And once again, we look forward to seeing everybody out on the field. Limited tickets available, from what I'm told, for the series.
I saw parking passes going on eBay for over $1,000 just for parking passes.
Yes.
Someone actually offered to me $20,000 to rent my scooter so they wouldn't have to park and they could drive right up on the field.
So it's going to be an absolute madhouse, and we're expecting huge crowds and possibly valet parking. So we're speaking to the people over there. So.
Didn't they also say Red would be giving shuttles back and forth from the Imperial House to the field every 15 minutes?
And
in the Impala. He's got to find towels to put on his
And all
Impala.
children under the age of 10 after Game 1 will be allowed to run the bases on Fireman's West. Once in a lifetime opportunity.
I will also be on hand signing autographs and we'll, so please come get your tickets and we'll be good to go.
And Allie also should be signing autographs.
Yeah, me and Allie have a booth set up by the side of the field.
Mr. Paper, those.
Yeah, sign the ball, the bat over the one that went over 5. Okay, once again, we look forward to seeing everybody there, and another great show, World Series. We're looking forward to the season is coming to a close, and we look forward to seeing everybody out on the field. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
That was funny. That was great.